It is not unusual that sometimes the partner of somebody who's struggling with burnout will come first to me before the person who's struggling with burnout. They will come with questions such as, what is it? Burnout? What is it happening? What is happening to them? What shall I expect? Will it get worse? How can I support? These are the most common questions from a partner who is caring, and they're very worried about the situation that they see their partner in. Hi, I'm Vassia, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to recognize signs of burnout in your partner and how you can support them. I'm a psychologist and I've worked with people with burnout before. And I know that in the beginning, it's difficult to even admit it to yourself that you have burnout. We have this omnipotency that we can do everything, that we are invincible, that we are very strong. And we don't admit that we are struggling very easily. And it's usually the partner that sees the differences in our behavior, the differences in our performance, in our communication, in the level of interaction. They see these little small signs and they get alarmed. So, what can be the signs? So, first of all, we talked about some emotional differences. Like, for example, you see that your partner is becoming more easily irritated, even with trivial things, such as the can opener doesn't work properly, or they're stuck in traffic, or a small question, small innocent question from their child is enough to make them snap. Usually you don't recognize that behavior, it's not their usual self, their usual reaction. So you can see this irritability, you can see these swings, but also you can see that this irritability and tension alternates sometimes with persistent sadness. You see this deep sadness or even numbness in their face, as if you cannot see any emotion at all in them. Another thing that you can see is the physical manifestation of burnout. For example, fatigue, they're tired, their body posture is different, even changes in sleep patterns. Maybe they sleep very little, or they have disturbed sleep, or they sleep a lot, like a lot, even more amount than somebody needs in order to rest. Or you see that they're getting sick very often. You see some symptoms like having a flu, but then this lasting for weeks, even months. And that's a sign of the immune system being too fragile at this moment. Another type of change you can see is behavioral changes. You see that their behavior is different. You can identify first and foremost withdrawal. You can see that your partner doesn't feel like going out or meeting friends. Even the idea is exhausting. Or when they are at home, they spend a lot of time, when they're not working, they spend a lot of time numbing, as we said before, spending a lot of time on Netflix, one series after the other, one episode after the other, or video games, hours of video games, or just scrolling on social media, something that doesn't need any decision, any interaction, any mental process, at least what they think so. And the decision. Another thing that you can see in their decision is in their behavior is that they're struggling with making decisions, even small decisions, like, for example, what do you want to eat today? Oh, I don't know. They're rolling their eyes and they cannot even think that simple decision. They don't know. And that's again a sign that the brain is excessively overwhelmed. I talked about the changes in our brain in a previous video. You can see all the changes that are happening in our brain because of burnout. So it's not that this person intentionally wants to harm or hurt the relationship. It's the brain not having the adequate energy in order to facilitate all the micro decisions that we usually take automatically or very easily when we don't struggle with burnout. So you see all these changes, and I get it that you're alarmed. If you tick all the boxes that we just said, that's a very clear sign of burnout, maybe at a severe level already. So what you can do in order to support your partner, and I appreciate your caring nature that you want to stand by their side. What I usually say is that it's amazing that you want to take care of the person who's struggling, but don't forget caring for the carer, caring for yourself. That's important. We don't want to have two people burned out at the end of the day. We appreciate you taking care of your partner, but also take care of your own energy so that, of course, you don't overextend yourself. So, what we can do? It goes without saying that what helps here is open communication. But what we mean with open communication is we need to intentionally and mindfully be very compassionate. Somebody who's struggling with burnout, they're already beating themselves up for what is happening to them. They cannot believe what is happening to them. They feel shame for the situation that they bring themselves as well as others into. Their inner critic is already too loud in their head. So if we try to shake them by being harsh, by being very confrontating, by pointing out all the things that they're doing wrong, clearly we're not helping. We're just adding suffering to the pain. Not only they're in pain, we're adding another level of pain there. That's a strategy that will not work at all. We need our compassionate and safe communication here. We need calmness. We need to start the conversation by sharing our concern and to show how much we care, to convey the feelings of caring. I'm here because I care. I don't want to blame you. What's happening to you is something that is happening to millions of other people. And maybe you have gone through that as well, or maybe somebody else in your environment. And I know that you're not doing that on purpose. And I know that this is something you all also hate. So stand beside them instead of standing opposite them and start the conversation from that point, the compassionate concern. Start the conversation in a calm environment. Pick a day. I would like to us to talk about that. And also, I want you to feel comfortable with that. So invite them when they're ready. Don't just surprise them. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're going to talk because this is the end. That's enough. Threats and intense atmosphere will not help. So pick a good timing and make sure that you're conveying this supportive spirit. And talking about supportive spirit, this is a solution that will come from a collaboration. Make that explicit. We're here, let's collaborate in that. What do you need from me? Ask them to talk. First of all, talk. What is it? What do you feel? How is it going for you? What is it that stress you most? This is about work. It's about a life decision that you need to make. What is contributing? Talk to me. I mean, I just want to understand. I don't want to fix it if you are not ready to fix it. I just want to understand. So if the conversation starts, that's a very good point. And then again, convey the team spirit. Hey, we're a team here. I support you, you support me. This is what we do. There's nothing to feel ashamed. And then discuss about shared responsibilities. What do you want me to help with? What kind of decision shall I make during this period? I remember I was working with a couple, and then one was going through a burnout and actually shared the fact that I cannot even make decisions about dinner. Can you take over dinner? Absolutely. I'm not going to ask you, says the partner. I'm not going to ask you anymore what's for dinner. I'm going to make the decision because I already know what you like, what you don't like. So even that was already some help, some support. The fact that somebody understands, validates, and is there to collaborate with them. And develop a support plan, which means that what are the priorities during this period? And the rest will go for later, way later. What are the priorities that we need to focus? How are we going to seek support? If you're working and they're working, what other people can we involve here? Don't worry, you don't need to take it all on your shoulder. Also, involve other people, friends, neighbors, relatives that they can help. Talk about self-care with them. In this moment, as I said before, the brain is really overwhelmed. So self-care and rest is fundamental here. We cannot talk about anything else. So Foster a culture of self-care. What are some activities you can do together of self-care? Maybe you can be a reminder for them, like now it's time to take a rest, or let's go for a walk. Something that you can do together, or you can remind them if they want to do it alone. Another thing is, again, we said about being compassionate and not increasing the negative or the self-criticism. Celebrate small wins. That's an activity that we can do, something we can do so that not only we are not boosting negativity, but we are actually boosting positivity. I know that sometimes we're perfectionizing growth and we're expecting within a week that somebody will get out of bed and will start exercising and will go back to work. But then again, we're going into the pattern of overwhelm. So if your partner, the only thing that they did was getting out of bed at 8 instead of 12, for example, yes, let's celebrate that. And let's acknowledge that progress is more important than results. Just a small change is important in overcoming burnout. And let's be grateful for the things that we are doing for each other, for the support and the understanding for each other. Another interesting question, and that's the last one that I would like to say here, is that they ask me, what shall I expect? Yes, we can expect relapse. Yes, somebody can go back. Maybe they had a good 2 weeks of waking up at 8 or 9 instead of 12 or 1. But then again, maybe you notice that one day they go back and sleep so much again. Relapse is okay. What we need again to focus on is the plan. What are the habits? What are the practices, the routines? The more we are changing these routines of self-care, of rest, of changing our mindset, changing the self-sabotaging behavior into the self-aware and self-care behaviors, things will definitely change into the positive. The more we work on that, things will work well. Don't worry about that, even though there will be a day or two of relapse. That's part of the plan as well. And last but not least, you don't need to be their therapist, their coach, their everything. You're the partner and you're doing that much. Don't hesitate to seek professional support. Don't hesitate to go together for a couple session, for example, so that you can discuss this collaborative plan that we said before. Don't hesitate you to ask a therapist what is it that you can do specifically in your situation, in your relationship, so that you can support. And of course, you're not going to do the work for them. You're going to do only the work for you. Also discuss with them the possibility of them starting therapy, of them understanding what is happening to them and changing all these overwhelm, the anxiety, the stress, the handling, the stress, the coping mechanisms that they have been using and maybe they're not working, and replacing them with helpful and healthy coping mechanisms. So discuss that with them as well. And don't forget, take care of yourself, as I said. First, we put the oxygen mask on our face and then to the person sitting next to us. You know that. You've traveled with airplane before. So take care of yourself. Make sure that you have your own space to replenish your energy, to meet with your friends, to talk about something else other than the support of your burned out partner, because that will give you the energy to come back and help them without resenting them. That's important. So let me know if you would like some more personalized support. Let me know if you would like to hear more about my burnout coaching program that starts in the new year. And I'm here to support you so that you can recover as soon as possible from something so overwhelming as a burnout. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourself.